Alright guys, today we have some very exciting PlayStation news to go over and talk about, as Sony has come out and given us a new date for the long-awaited PlayStation 5 reveal event. That date is going to be this Thursday, June 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is extremely exciting. But they also did update their blog here, and they have given us a little bit of new information. Obviously, this information is not pertaining to the games themselves, but it's talking about the quality of the stream itself and what we can expect, those of us who are planning on watching the stream live when it happens. And they're also apparently letting us know that they plan to show off some interesting, cool audio stuff they are doing, obviously with the PS5's Tempest engine, and how they are suggesting that you wear headphones when you watch this event, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be talking about all this, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on it. So if you could do me a big favor before we go any further, make sure you hit the like button to show your excitement for the PS5 event, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss any future PS5 content here on the channel, as I will be keeping up with all of it and covering it. So I'm going to read the blog post and then we're going to talk about it. It says, "Hi all, thanks for being patient and understanding while we rescheduled this PS5 event for Thursday, June 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We needed to step aside so key voices could be heard during this historic and important time. Now that the event is confirmed for June 11th, I wanted to add that this pre-taped program will be broadcast at 1080p and 30 frames per second. This eased the show's production process during a time when many of our team and developers are working from home. The games you'll see on Thursday will look even better when you play them on PS5 with a 4K TV, as you'd expect. It's also best if you watch while wearing headphones if you can. There's some cool audio work in the show, and it might be harder to appreciate it if it's pumped through your phone or laptop speakers. Anyway, enough talk. An updated version of Jim Ryan's original post follows below. See you Thursday." And obviously we're not going to read the updated original post. We already covered that. But for those who are not aware, basically Jim Ryan in that post was just letting us know what we can expect at this event, which is to see PlayStation 5 games we can look forward to playing at the launch of the PS5 when we finally get our hands on it, which is obviously very exciting. So I think that most of us, if not all of us, are very, very happy to learn that Sony is not going to be making us wait much longer at all to finally see this event. Obviously, there was a lot of people who were disappointed that it did get postponed. Some of us were worried that maybe it wasn't going to happen till the very end of June, maybe even the beginning of July, which sounded like somewhat of a painful wait considering it was supposed to happen on June 4th. But we won't have to wait much longer at all. This Thursday is when it's all going down, and obviously I want to let everybody know right now I will be streaming this on the channel. And it's probably going to be the longest stream I ever do. We will be streaming before the event kicks off for quite some time, talking about it, hyping it up. We're going to stream the actual event itself. And then we are obviously going to continue to stream once the event ends, because I'm probably, as well as most of you, I'm going to have a lot to say about it. Now, the one thing, or a few things I want to highlight in this blog post, but the one thing in particular is that they're letting us know they plan to broadcast it at 1080p 30 frames per second. There are some people who are very concerned about this, and they feel as though it's a big mistake on Sony's part. However, I think most people, if not all people who are planning to watch this show, should be understanding of the fact that the reason why they're doing this is to ease the production process, as they say here. We have to understand that many of the developers, if not all of them, are working from home, and so they're trying to let this be something that happens relatively smoothly as it possibly can. And I guess they had to come to the conclusion that the best way to do that would be to not stream it in 4K. Now, the big question that I'm personally left with, and I want to point out why I'm thinking this, is will we be able to watch the stream itself, like the actual event, in full in 4K once this stream is done? The reason why I say that is because if you notice here, they don't mention anything about being able to watch it in 4K. There's some people who are probably going to bring up, well, they didn't say that about The Last of Us Part 2 State of Play or the Ghost of Tsushima game State of Play. You were able to just watch that gameplay in 4K when it was done. And I think most people are under the assumption we will be able to do the same thing with this event, but there's something we have to understand about this event, is that this is not going to be like a 20-minute highly edited gameplay segment for a single game, right? They're working with a lot of different partners. They're going to have a lot of different things they're showing. And it just seems to me that there is a chance we might not be able to watch this entire thing in 4K when it's done. However, I think it is completely safe to assume that while we may not be able to watch the entirety of the stream itself in 4K, even once the stream is done, the trailers and the gameplay sections that we do see revealed during the stream will come out as separate videos that you can watch in 4K. I mean, at the bare minimum, how could that not be something, right? I am hoping, however, that we will be able to go back and watch the entire stream in 4K. I'm not going to be too upset if we can't, though. Again, it's kind of understandable. Most people don't even have the bandwidth to be able to stream something like this in 4K, let alone 4K 60 FPS. I guess I just hope that we don't see a situation where a bunch of people are throwing a fit, making it sound like these games look terrible and there's no reason to be excited for next generation because they were streaming this event at 1080p 30 frames per second. I talked about this a little bit on the podcast yesterday, and how I feel, and I think most people will agree with me here, maybe not everybody will, but I honestly feel that anybody who's tuning into a live streamed event, especially when they're showing new games and new game reveals, it's not so much about the quality at which it's being streamed. I mean, obviously, the higher the quality, the better. But people, in my opinion, usually walk away from events feeling excited, not based on whether or not they were able to watch it in 4K at 60 frames per second. They walk away feeling excited based off of what was actually announced and what was shown off. I think most rational people with common sense fully understand that if you decide to watch a live streamed event for, that's going to show off gameplay that is supposed to be at native 4K, possibly 4K 60 frames per second, you're just not going to see that. It's not going to look the same as if you were playing it as an already recorded video on YouTube, or especially if you were playing it on your console. And I just think there's a lot of people who don't really, at least some people who don't fully understand that. And for me, it's more about the weight of the games that are actually announced. I mean, think about a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's safe to say that we may end up getting that at this event. If we get that and we end up seeing it at 1080p 30 frames per second, do we really think that that's going to take away all of the hype and excitement? No, it's not. Especially when the trailer for it, or even the gameplay for it, potentially, is out there on PlayStation's YouTube channel after this stream and you can watch that in 4K. The hype is not going to be reduced at all. I'm just saying this because I already know that there's going to be some people who are losing their minds thinking that this event is already ruined for some reason because of this, but I think most people are understanding of this fact, and they understand that it's just completely unrealistic to go into any stream, whether that's for Microsoft or Sony, when it comes to them showing off these high-fidelity next-gen games running at higher frame rates, to expect to see that come across over a stream. It's just not realistic, and this is just Sony basically letting you know up front, look, don't expect that. But I have a good feeling that when this event is over, people are absolutely not going to be focusing on the quality of the stream. I think what people are going to be focusing on is how big some of these announcements are. Now, the last thing I want to say in this video before ending it is, again, there's a lot of people, or at least some people I've seen, wondering how hyped should I be for this event. Is it safe to be really hyped for it? Should I get my expectations high? Are there going to be big announcements, or is it going to end up disappointing? Is it going to end up leaving me feeling like I expected a lot more? I don't want to get anybody overly hyped, just like I said the first time around, but based off of what I'm hearing, I think it's safe to say that you can be pretty hyped for this event. I think it's safe to say that there will be some pretty big announcements at this event. There's going to be some pretty big announcements that make some very big waves across the gaming industry that people will be talking about long after the event has ended. And so, I don't want to get anybody's expectations too high. I know it's weird of me to say that after what I just said, but I do think it's safe to be hyped. I'm not sitting here saying that every single announcement Sony's going to have at this event is going to be through the roof massive, like one after the other. There's going to be some smaller ones, but there will certainly be some big ones, and those big ones are going to make some pretty big waves. So prepare yourself. The hype is real right now, and I am extremely excited, guys. As I said, I will be streaming this event on my channel, and I think it's going to end up being the longest stream I ever do here. So I hope to see you guys there. I hope you can come pay me a visit and we can hang out and watch it together and enjoy it. It's going to be a huge time for gamers and especially PlayStation fans, and I absolutely cannot wait. Final thing here is they do mention you want to wear some headphones when you decide to watch this. They're going to have some cool audio stuff that they're doing, so I'll be wearing my headphones. Hopefully you guys will be as well, and I'm going to be interested to see what they do about that. It seems like Sony's not just trying to use this as a way to show off, obviously, how good the games are going to look or how fun the gameplay is, but what they're going to be able to do with that Tempest engine inside of the PlayStation 5. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, and let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.